are you, Axis?
You will come to me in time, prisoner.
Show yourself, you fucking coward!
Don't like the looks of this.
Find cover, now!
The Force is the only thing you understand.
Damn it! Jesus, regroup! Find new cover! Can't handle a direct hit from that thing!
You cannot conceal yourself from the truth.
Put an end to it! Now! Whoa! Walk it off! Whoa! Hot! Set up a gun!
Insurrection only brings further harm to your people.
Keep the pressure on him! Alley-oop! Shield orb, there! Out! Out!
Spare yourself pain. Surrender.
Walk it off! Whoa! Out! Out! Up and away! I'm down! Down! I need help! You can't leave me here!
Your resistance would be inspiring.
Thanks.
If it made any difference at all.
We need extra firepower. Drop a scanner, there! Set up some cover! Disrupt it! Stims! Hot! Damn it! Thanks, I needed that.
You even comprehend the forces arrayed against you.
Whoa! Run!
Jesus! Did you see that?
Find new cover! We can't handle a direct hit from that thing! They're still here!
Destroy one of our smaller
Put an end to
ships.
it! Now!
I will leave you to consider your chances against something of greater potency.
Repeat, can you hear me?
Barnes, we're ready for evac. Now.
Jesus, you're alive. Coming in. Let's get the hell out of this place.
Well done, Carter. You and your team did it.
Yeah, but what did it cost us? They're winning, Doc. With a transponder you nabbed back there, now we can strike back.
That tower's still sending people to the other side. If we act quick enough, we can launch a rescue op before... you want to tell me what's going on here?
I asked the lab to devise a test to root out any more infiltrators. We're testing everyone going in or out of the base. Take them to quarantine.
Too bad about De Silva. Huh, Falk?
Heinrich has isolated one of...
Mosaic's imperative commands. To humans, it's simple noise. But to an outsider...
So much more. Proceed, Doctor.
He's reacting.
That shouldn't be happening.
Higher!
I am William.
Carter. William.
Carter!
Agent Carter, I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you.
Where's Julia?
While you were away, there was an accident.
What? Bullshit. What accident?
A fire. At your house in Arlington. Julia and Richard.
Unfit for duty. You're drunk, Agent. Go home and sleep it off.
Jules. Buried before I could say goodbye.
This is your third disciplinary hearing, Agent.
Let me go.
You got me, Will.
Let me help them. Let me go. Let me go.
Awake now, are we?
Yeah. He convinced I'm human yet?
You're alive, aren't you?
Something like that.
Well, you should be fine. The director left an order to send you to talk to him as soon as you woke up. I wouldn't keep him waiting.
Lock. Carter. Carter? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Anybody? Am I dead? Isn't there supposed to be something? Is someone out there? Who's there? Who are you?
Doctor, if you have a moment.
Absolutely. At this point, most of my patients are sleepwalkers anyway, and they're not getting any worse. Unfortunately, they're not getting any better either.
Any chance of finding a cure?
We've got a variety of tests running at the moment, but our first attempts were not pretty.
So it's not as simple as scraping the black goo off their faces?
We tried that. You don't want to see what's underneath.
How are the infected, Doctor?
They're stable, but that's not exactly a good thing. Nurses make sure they're fed and cleaned. That's all we can do for now.
That's better than nothing.
It's like a ward full of coma patients, except they keep talking to themselves.
What's happening to the sleepwalkers anyway?
We're still trying to figure that out. Their autonomic system thinks it's in a coma, but something else is influencing their physical actions.
You mean they're getting orders from somewhere?
Only on a very basic level, like how they move toward the alien tower you saw.
Any idea how they're getting these commands?
We think it has to do with a silicoid substance on their faces. It might be functioning like the Mosaic control centers we find in Outsiders.
All the more reason to track down Mosaic and put a stop to it. I suppose there's not much more you can do for now.
We'll keep on testing. Until then, all we can do is keep them comfortable.
So, the lockdown situation is over. Big deal. I just don't see it.
Right. I mean, whoop-de-doo, the doors might be open, but where is there to go?
Hey, Carter, I heard about this. Tough choice, but you did the right thing, son.
You hear about Agent De Silva? Yeah, I saw him. Guy's a real trooper.
I don't know. If I were him, I don't think I would have wanted to come.
What are you talking about?
We can't afford to take care of everyone. I'm just saying, maybe he could have gone out with a bang.
Just because he's infected doesn't mean he's dead. Better to be half alive than not at all, pal.
Technology commandeered from the Outsiders briefly renders the recon agent invisible. Best used to send the recon agent into sniping or flanking position. The support agent destabilizes heavy targets. Armor is heavily damaged, and targets are briefly vulnerable to incoming fire. Create a projection duplicate of the recon agent, drawing fire and distracting enemies. Too much damage will destroy the projection.
Seen anything interesting in the field?
You know how it is. Rampaging alien hordes, bolts of deadly blue plasma, walking death machines from another world. All in a day's work.
You make it sound like an issue of Captain Thunderbolt.
I don't have to try very hard.
What the hell has Falk so paranoid?
You mean more paranoid than usual? Doesn't trust anybody but Weaver. God knows why.
Weaver's always been a good agent. Certainly better than you.
Except I'm not the one getting into screamy matches with the old man, am I?
We're done here.
I don't know how anyone could have mistaken you for an alien. They have better senses of humor.
Another infected. William, could I have a word with you?
We need to talk about that test of yours.
My most sincere apologies for what happened at your screening, William. But as you can see, we have a more pressing matter at the moment. This man is infected.
That's never happened in the base before. Or is this another unexpected side effect of your test, Doc?
Nine. I'm quite sure this is from an outside source, but I need your help to find out where, and to do it without causing a panic.
This agent's turning into a sleepwalker, and I've seen how that goes. Unless you found a cure, I don't see how you're gonna help.
It's not a cure, but it may be the first step.
Well, what is it?
I have discovered a way to detect sleepwalker infections at an early stage, before the symptoms present. It will let us treat the subjects earlier, or at least get a better understanding of the conversion process.
Another test, Doctor?
Not to fear, William. This time you will be the one performing the test. And quietly, if at all possible.
The last thing we need is an infection scare.
Precisely. Thankfully, the detective will find any infected within a large area. Here, check in operations, engineering, the main lab, the briefing room, and the hangar. That should cover the base.
And if I find any other infected?
Send them to see Dr. Hera. I will meet you there, and perhaps we can help these men.
During the screening, it felt like my head was going to explode. Any idea what happened?
I have no idea. Perhaps it was some resonance from your earlier exposure to the alien artifact. Tell me, how did it feel?
Like someone was inside my skull using a hammer, trying to break free. It was all I could do to stay conscious.
Yes. And you said something, too. Your name? Perhaps your rank as well?
Hell if I know. For a few seconds, it was all just a red haze.
Well, I am glad you are with us again, my friend.
You said that noise during the screening was something from Mosaic. How did you discover that?
Dr. Veer has been examining the device removed from our captive infiltrator. It would appear that this is how they receive commands from the Mosaic network.
So they're radio-operated?
Not quite. But it seems to give them a sort of subconscious connection to a larger command hierarchy.
And you used the command for attack. You couldn't pick something safer, like dance?
Our control is too crude for specific commands, only general urges. And violence is a very common response, William.
I'll be on my way.
As you say. But if you would like, I have some experiments I could perform on the...
No. I'll check for infected. But I've spent quite enough time as your guinea pig for today, Doc.
How are you holding up, Carter?
I've had better days.
Whole human race has had better days.
How are we holding up?
Oh, pretty well, actually. We keep taking in more people, but Barnes has those choppers flying day and night, recovering food and gear from storehouses.
We might make it through this yet.
Oh, well, I still wouldn't bet on us. But we've got a fighting chance, and I hear that's thanks to you.
Now that you've seen the sleepwalkers, what do you think?
Well, that's worse than I thought. But at least they're safe in the infirmary. But even so... no, never mind.
What's bothering you?
Look, it's not right to mention it, but we're losing a lot of food and water taking care of them. Without them, we'd have another 4 months of supplies.
What else would you recommend?
Well, nothing right now. But if this war turns into a long haul, we'll have to ask ourselves if we can afford to be so merciful.
Your old buddy Falk nearly had me shot.
Not the first time. Might have been a couple of times he nearly shot me too.
This isn't a joke.
No, son. No, it's not. It's real goddamn life. and there's a lot more at stake than your ego. So walk it off, and try to remember that he's watching out for our whole species.
But what if he starts abusing his authority?
If that happens, I'll stand right beside you. But just fight one war at a time.
That's everything I need.
All right then. Good luck out there, Carter.
Who's gonna be the new Bravo team leader? I mean, now that DeSilva's,
Heard about your little welcome home party, Carter. Glad to see you're still in one piece.
I gotta say, I was pretty relieved when I passed that crowd's test.
You were afraid you were an alien?
Welcome back, William Carter. It is pleasant to see a familiar face.
You're in a good mood for a prisoner of war?
As are you. Which means you have recovered a phase plotter. So you plan to go through with your suicidal attack?
So, you really want to see the end of Mosaic? Tell us where they're taking the sleepwalkers, and how do we cure them?
I would not know. I am a warrior, not a scholar. I do not know if it can be cured.
We'll see. You must know something about Axis. If we go after him, what should we expect?
Axis? The Primarch. You are an ambitious creature, William Carter.
Axis, Primarch, whatever you call him.
He is wise and patient. There is a reason Mosaic called him to lead. Do you think it a coincidence that your planet fell so quickly to him?
He's not that smart. We've already tracked him down.
Of course you have. He will let you come to him and then he will destroy you. This is suicide, William Carter.
What are you called?
You do not understand how Mosaic functions. When we are connected, we are Mosaic. Individual names are unimportant.
You're not connected anymore. What do you call yourself now?
I do not know. I have never been concerned with it.
Maybe you should. Help us win, and I'll call you whatever you want. Stick around.
Do I have a choice?
Of course not.
Be cautious, William Carter.
What exactly is that noise you use in the...
Officer, is the prisoner behaving himself?
Huh? Oh, yes. He's been quiet.
Something on your mind?
Sorry, Carter. It's just... I've had a lot on my mind recently.
How's our friendly local infiltrator doing?
He's been pretty quiet since you had a talk with him. Almost like he's meditating or something. But I couldn't say what's going through his head.
Our last talk was rather revealing. Any chance I could talk with him again?
I don't recommend it. But if you go in there, we'll have witnesses on hand to make sure the person who walks out is still you.
Better than having to take that test again. Is this going to affect your duties?
No. No, sir, not at all.
See that it doesn't. Remember who you're guarding here. What's wrong? Must be pretty important to bother a trooper like you.
It's my girl back in Iowa. She's been taking care of some survivors in a big farmhouse, and she sends transmissions every day, but...
But what?
Latest transmission, she sounded really tired. And, said she found traces of black goo on her pillow.
Shit. I'm sorry.
They're already sending a team to recover as many of them as possible. I just hope she gets back here in time.
Be careful, Rose. A distracted guard is a dead guard. Either get over it, or get a replacement.
Yes, sir. It won't be a problem, sir.
And, good luck.
Don't even start.
No, really. If we pull through, this technology's gonna change the world.
Got some news for you.